Hey everybody, welcome back to our free TV. It is Thursday, March 12th, 2026. I am so glad to be back with you here again today on the channel. We have a great show for you today. We are bringing back Patty Greer, who you have not seen for a minute. And we're so excited to get back together, both of us being so busy, so much going on, and actually both of us confronting huge attacks and assaults. Hers with her climate assault flu that she wants to talk about here and put a presentation up. And of course, both of us also actually using C60 Evo to help heal from these things. I'll tell you about mine. I did a video on it last week. But basically, we want to talk about how we can survive during these times. And of course, we're also going, she is co-owner of c60evo.com/YAFTV. C60 Evo, of course, is the ESS60 molecule. So she's going to be talking about recent developments with C60 Evo, the incredible job it does at cleaning out your mitochondria. And there is so much going on, the attack, especially on our cellular health. That is, of course, the biggest issue we all face. So I'm really excited to have Patty back. And of course, she is also, as well as the founder of C60 Evo, she is an incredibly esteemed filmmaker on all of her crop circles research that she did. And I will link below her crop circle movies that won at least 7 awards, I think all EB awards. But let's bring in Patty and we will get going.
Hi there.
Hi, Patty. So good to see you.
I have missed you and your audience, and now we're back. And I think we're kind of pumped up for the new frequency that we're moving into because it's good. No matter what it looks like to the sleepers, it's good. I'm excited.
I'm very excited too. Like, really, it is good. And it's, I kind of call it auditioning. Like, we're all auditioning for God right now God's like, oh, what about this? Could you do this? And you're like, all right, let me give it a shot. Right. And so, whether that is in the healing process and being able to share methods of healing that are working, where people are going through all of these crazy illnesses related to, of course, the massive biowarfare spray, and I would say also the EMF arrays that help to elevate and escalate it and what it does in our bodies as our electrical system in our bodies especially. But we're going to talk about that, but also, we're also going to talk about the times, like you said. And here we are in this incredible upgrade that humanity is going through. And we have to be equal to the task. So I know you have a presentation you want to get into about what you've been through over the last month. And by the way, you're looking fabulous now after your healing process. And why don't you take it away for a minute?
Well, let's talk for a few minutes before we pull up the presentation because it's been a minute, like you said. And something really important that you said is when we speak with God.
Yeah.
That's what makes all the difference. Is I've never spoken with God this much. Up in the morning, I say thank you before anything. I used to apologize for the humans that were blah, blah, blah. Now I don't. Now I just say thank you. Please guide me and give me the tools to be the best version of myself I can be because you've been tested. I've been tested. All the people that know what's going on are just stunned that we're still in this level of communist stupidity, is a direct way to put it. And I had to send you an email this morning saying, I sure hope my internet's up because for the last 5 days, we've been warned that there's going to be these massive winds today. But there hasn't been wind all week. And this morning it was like totally quiet, but it went from 0 to 80 about 4 hours ago. And because I'm so aware of the issues, I watched it and I was like, wait a minute. It went from 0 to 80 and now I've got to go get the crap off my deck and put it, So I just accept that I haven't left the state yet, but I live in Colorado, which is basically run by China and paid for by rich people. And so my family, I'm beyond proud that because of the 29 cell towers that just got loaded into our vicinity, I can hear it. I can feel the dirty electricity. And I spent a fortune when they stuck a smart meter on my house complimenting me because they knew I was adamantly opposed. You're the last one, but we have to do your house. I'm like, God, don't make me move too quickly. So I bought this sign tamer, Sinetamer, that is supposed to minimize. And I recently bought it. I'm just like trying to fight stupidity. But Xcel Energy warned us that winds are coming. We're going to have to shut down the electricity so you can't run anything or, get out of your garage with your car. Like, we're going to just shut it down if the wind blows. There's not any wind. Oh, wait, it just started. So
Yeah, 0 to 80. Yeah, exactly.
I wish I was dumb enough to not let it bother me, but I'm just watching it go. And I'm surrounded by people that got so many of the things in the arm that they don't get it. Like,
Right.
the dumbing down is so impressive, and I'm lost here. But my
Yeah.
kids just left. They packed up 2 dogs, 3 kids in an RV and left the state because they know better. And our
Good for them.
local government is really working with Polis to make sure that Colorado is a trans welcoming state. And parents, if somebody steals their children and brings them here for the surgeries and the drugging, and that the parents cannot rescue their children, even with a court order. Now, how clean is that?
Yeah.
So we moved the
It's
kids out of the
satanic.
state.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why everyone out there, 202-224-3121, got to call your senators. The SAVE Act has stuck in there the no trans surgery on kids without the parents' express participation and permission. So we wish it was just none, period, but at least there's that. So we need that Save America Act passed, and you need to call your senators. And Thune is 202-224-2321. And he especially needs to hear your loving thoughts about the whole situation. Can we save our ability to have elections in this country anymore? But anyway,
Did
so
you
back.
notice? Did you
Go ahead.
notice that Thune is a foot taller than everybody else?
I did. Yeah, he's very tall.
Just saying.
You think it's like a off-planet dude?
No, I don't think he's off planet. I just think he was created differently, kind of like
Interesting.
the weather, kind of like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Yeah, he has that look. All right, well, look, let's jump in here with your presentation because I know we only have limited time today, and I really want to hear. I know you put together a really great, comprehensive overview for people to understand. We need to understand the weapons being used against us. These are bio weapons, whether they're poisons or they're electronics, or they are shot into our body that then react with both of these things being sprayed from the sky, and then, of course, the onslaught into our living space and our actual bodies, and our electrical systems that we are. And so many symptoms come from that people don't really understand. I think a lot of them have to do with cardiovascular and how that is so connected with, of course, then the shots or the spread and the not just the microclotting, but I would say the vascular constriction that is massively increased, and the decrease in blood oxygen levels that come with massive EMF or smart homes or Bluetooth setup homes, et cetera. So, or just them beaming you from these towers, which is absolutely the case.
Huh.
And the dirty electricity is a very simple way of saying it, which so many people's homes have that they don't even understand the concept of it. So anyway, long little rant there for me before you get you started, Patty. So I'm going to, should I make you full screen and then just add your
Just do the
thing? Well,
presentation
let's bring it on.
full screen. Yeah, we'll be in the corner. So I have a new guy working with me. I have an absolutely brilliant man that has saved my company from unbelievable assaults. And it's just fabulous. He took an hour putting this together, maybe half an hour, because he's just a wizard and he's on team evolution. It's beautiful. So, I gave him a list of things that you and I both know are affecting people, plants, nature, everything. And it's really quite simple unless you just are living in a place where they're demanding that all this fake stuff is natural, which we don't. So I realized when I looked at the sky, and it wasn't just major, I'm trying to not use the word sea trails. Let's just call them sea trails. And it was so bad, but they also added the frequency thing called H. And it was like cottage cheese in the sky. And I went, oh God, what's coming now? So of course I took photos because I've got quite the library of photos of Colorado intentionally bad skies. And sure enough, 2 days later, I got a split in my lip that I've never had. And it wasn't until 2 days ago when I started using tallow on my lip, finally it's healing.
That's so awesome.
Everything that I tried didn't work. And I had to cancel a dentist appointment yesterday because I can't open my mouth. Now I'm speaking comfortably because my lip is better. Tallow. I am wearing a bamboo shirt. It's like I'm so over pretending that things that were good are, because they're not. And so climate change clouds. We can call it climate change, but those of us that know what it is, we can just make fun of it as climate change flu. And that's what I've called it. And, people that know go, oh my God, I've been sick. My family's sick. Everybody's sick. Today, the Rocky Mountain Voice, great gal, she says, I am going to do the news today. Sorry, I have pneumonia. It's like, it's not pneumonia, babe. It's climate change flu. So anyway, I don't push what we know, but when people start to wake up because they watch your shows more often, and we start really bringing the truth, full buckets, everybody's going to wake up and tell their neighbor, just be quiet. I don't want to hear that anymore. Let me help you when you're in the mood. So that's
Good one.
saying to all the people on Team Evolution, as we move into a new paradigm of consciousness, we can't help people that are just demanding that they don't believe in any of this. So that's fine. So they forced a smart meter on my home, and I was honored to be the last person because they knew. I stood in my driveway and said, you're not welcome on my property. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but get the frick off my property. No smart meter. So I was the last one, but they forced it on the side of my house. And the sound of dirty electricity is mind-boggling. The elevation of the cost, because they control it, is stunning. And I lost my hot tub because a rat got inside it, and I had black mold plus fungus. When 3 guys came and lifted it, the third group of hot tub repair people, they said, oh, ma'am, that's the worst one we've ever seen. $700 to take it away. And I'm like, it's not old enough. Take it. When I saw the level of what happened, but I also realized now I don't want to sit outside. I don't want to be in my beautiful hot tub in nature because nature has been filled with climate change sky. And I don't want to be out. And it's really sad. I see people walking their babies and I just think, God, if you only knew. But staying inside, I don't know which is worse anymore. We have to fix these problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, where I am, we've got the sort of, in Hawaii they call it the fog from the volcanoes, but it's the fog that is infested with crap that just never leaves, right? It just sits close to the ground and makes everybody sick. But anyway, let's go on into your presentation here. What do we got
Okay.
here with your chart?
Well, the cell towers nearby are also, as you said, causing the human frequencies to get all messed up. And when they load in 29 in the course of a month or two, and we know that it's from Huawei, China. These technologies are from people that hate us and agree with Bill Gates. There's too many people here. Let's fix it. And they're still getting away with it. So anyway, I've got all these cell towers, and a beautiful canyon up to Estes Park is trashed, just trashed. And so, it's up to us to either stop it or get out of the canyons, because right now we can't fight City Hall. And then there's the water. Now, Bobby Kennedy Jr. has made it very clear that we don't need poison or poo-poo or fluoride in our water, but we still have all those things because Colorado is run by bad people. So we also have glyphosate in food, even if it says organic. So there are apps on the phone that you can point at a product. Now, my grandkids absolutely love these organic, delicious, buttery crackers. They say organic. They don't say glyphosate. But when I looked at the list of poison foods, this was at the top of the list. I think it was 474 whatever it is, glyphosate. This is so toxic. So 4 boxes went out yesterday.
Well, that's Whole Foods, that's Bezos, that's Amazon, and they're just lying liars and purveyors of lies. That's why they put out of business all of the real health food stores, and now they put out these disgusting products, half of them made in China.
Here's another one. I really thought this was good bread. Really high in glyphosate. Label doesn't have to say it.
Glyphosate. Glyphosate. Yeah.
Crap. So
yeah, it's in everything, and it is one of the most harmful and disturbing and destructive things to your body, and especially your gut-brain biome connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who is it affecting? Well, humans, children, your pets. And the reason my house does not allow shoes inside is because I don't want all this walking in. And people look at me like, oh, come on, Patty. I'm like, don't make me explain the climate change falling on the streets and the sidewalks. And luckily, I don't live in a big city where there's also fecal matter, urine, and all those other things. But even dogs and cats, you take them on a beautiful hike in the foothills of Boulder, Colorado, and when you come back, their feet are covered with glyphosate. And we also have Rejuvra gifted to us by Monsanto and approved by the Boulder County Parks and Open Space, because the father-son, one of them works at each of those. Boulder County Parks and Open Space, Monsanto. They got this.
So important for people to understand that. So you're saying the people that control your town planning, or are they the planning board? So father, son, who both work for these chemical companies. And that's what people need to understand, why it's so important to get involved on your town councils, especially city planning. These kind of ordinances, you have to get involved, because whatever can happen in the world, but you can control what's happening in your town if you get involved and fight. Because that's exactly it right there. The hugest contracts go to the people who participate, right? Or take over. So anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
The town council, where I live in Boulder County, the city council is made up of people that love what Polis is doing, bringing in trans consciousness and approval. And that's why the co-mayor, called a pro tem, is a man dressed as a woman with pearls at the meeting I went to. And I was like, where's that guy with really big hands wearing pearls? And then it stood up and it had a dress. Now it's running for mayor. They, them. I don't know what to say politely, but that people in this town go, that's a man? It's like, I don't know, but it's probably got a thing down there. I don't know what you want to call it, but I just can't resonate with this level of what it is. And our schools are even filled with those same frequencies of people. And I won't elaborate more because then they'll know where I live, but it's bad. And, Polis wants more. Luckily, the making Colorado a prostitution state, that failed. That just failed, but it wasn't by much. So going further, what else is it harming? Well, the wildlife, the birds, the insects. Have you driven very far? I know you drive, and noticed your windshield is clean.
There's no bugs anymore, for sure.
And they tried to kill all the bees, but luckily, now that we've had, shall we say, no winter in Colorado, everything's budding in a dangerous way, but there's bees everywhere. So we still have bees.
Good.
And we really need to stop the spraying. But the Rejuvra, Boulder County Parks and Open Space, we won the war with lawyers, very expensive. No more helicopters dumping it, because I have it filmed. So they came back with drones.
Now explain to people what Rejuvra is and does.
Rejuvra is a chemical compound to kill a particular weed. Well, I'm sorry, we have goats that can eat those particular weeds, but as it kills those weeds, it kills everything else. And the more poisons you dump, it doesn't just kill the trees, which is the bottom one, plants and trees. It is killing the roots of those trees. And when we get the winds, then the fake wind, like today, 0 to 80 in a minute, the trees are falling over. My friend in Idaho said, we just got the fake wind and the trees are falling over. Like, it's really dangerous. And the people are so okay with this because they've just had too much of the medicine, the experimental thing.
The medicine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah. The
dark medicine.
pharmakia. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's move on in the presentation and see what I see in Colorado on a daily basis. So if you'd move that slider to the
Sure.
next one, you're going to see what I saw 2 days before I got really sick. Now, that's not normal. That's the she plays the harp thing. I used to play the harp, but got poisoned by a dentist and lost the use of my fingertips till literally 2 weeks ago. I have detoxed the last month because I got so sick from this climate change flu that I said, okay, I'm not doing antibiotics. I'm going to bite the bullet, cancel my shows, and just feel every part of my body go through what this did to me. Now, you can call me an idiot if you want, because of course, those are just clouds and it's just wind, and that's fine. I'm not going to try and teach people. I'm done with that. I want to roar with the lions now moving forward and leave the sheep to kind of find their own way out of the pasture. It's too exhausting, but I am telling people that are, wisdom keepers to be kind. We just have to be kind and just pat them on the back and say, let me help you when you're ready. We can't push. The next image is basically the same thing, but it's kind of obvious when you know what's going on, that that's not normal clouds. This isn't normal wind. And so I was like, oh crap, here comes something, but I don't get sick. I take C60 Evo like you do every day, and I don't get sick. So I've been really arrogant because I haven't been sick in 5-6 years until this particular day. And I just let it ride. I took a lot of C60 Evo oil, which is my always remedy. But then I had to add so many other things because this baby was a BITCH on my body. Let's go to the next one, because you got to see what Colorado is doing that people aren't noticing.
And I'll just point out here that, this rippling effect that you're describing, that's when you know that your Harper rays and your massive EMF assault is happening, when those kind of frequencies are going through the spray, that what they've done in the sky, and then it creates this rippled effect that you were talking about. That's when you got the double whammy of the spray plus the Harper rays on really full high mode.
And they're really proud in Colorado that we are the king and queen of cloud seeding, which is basically just spewing it from the ground up so that it doesn't have so far to drop down. But it's poison. All of it is intentional poison and stupidity. How can people look at this and say, that's condensation, Patty? Don't be a conspiracy theorist. That's condensation dripping from the line that's been there for 20 minutes. Oh, okay. I got to go. That's where I'm at anymore. It's just like, I can't talk to you, and God bless you. Good luck. So this is kind of blatant, but when you see this, it's probably best not to take your baby out in the stroller. Probably best just to let your dog have a quick run in the backyard, because it's a bad day in the air, and you might want to get the foot washers. You take your shoes off, but dogs can't, to wash their feet before they come in, moving forward until we clean this up and Bill Gates goes away. So right now we're in kind of a losing situation when they've got the ability to also add these modified germs and viruses and put them in with the aluminum, barium, strontium, flying over us on a regular basis, which the pilots, some of them know, some of them don't. It's added to their fuel. But they do have to hit on the switch that says sea trails. Like, they got to know they're adding something when they're flying in certain areas. And it starts at the beginning of town and then it ends at the end of town. So they're saving money for doing it on people in areas where they want to do extreme levels of this. And I'm trying to be polite. How am I
You're
doing?
always so polite. You're always so polite, Patty.
Not
That's
always.
definitely one of your common traits. Anybody would say it.
Thank you. Considering what we know, everything we say is polite now because
Oh yeah, from how we should be acting. So maybe polite, Anyway, let's move on. So, I'm aware we're at 25 minutes, and I really want to hear about sort of what happened to you. And I'm
Let's
sure
move,
that's coming up. So,
let's move quicker through these slides then,
okay.
because people know what we're talking about. The next one is oh, that's obvious. Let's go to the next one because that's just more of the same. Okay. Oh, people say, look at the pretty rainbows. Okay. And it looks like an oil slick. It looks like it's kind of obvious to us, but people are still saying, oh, look at the pretty rainbows on those ice crystals in the sky. Dudes and ladies, this is weather modification on steroids right here. And it is so bad that the clouds are reflecting the toxins. This is nothing pretty. This is very serious assault. And I really wish us well. Next one, you go into the night. Oh, look at the pretty moon and the rainbow and all the cottage cheese clouds.
Yeah.
Okay, needs not say more. And why is it happening? Next slide. Look at that. President Trump took us out of the WHO because they're a Satanist clan of demons, but Jared Polis just joined for Colorado.
And that's what's so disgusting is that you can have states. I think California did this too. And so is this who they're listing is in this coalition, or who has left the coalition? But it looks like who's in it, right? Because who's funding this? So it's Bill and Melinda Gates, China, Germany, United Kingdom, the Gavi Vaccine Alliance, European Commission, Japan, and a couple others, Sweden. Yeah. So the usual suspects of the people who want to run a giant technocracy to rule the world and have a slavery planet. But so Colorado is joining this global outbreak network. And is that specific? What is that specific program within the WHO?
The fact that the entire country said no, because 95% of people do not want to be poisoned and sickened, and have laws that they can lock us down and make us wear shower curtains to the grocery store on a metal pole with a circle, or tampons on our face, or it's Sani pads. I mean, the things that we watched and all the young people dying on the athletic field, this has been such a crime against humanity. And Jared wants more of it. Is that fair to us that are paying taxes, that are residents? One more reason I'm glad my family moved. And I hope that they find a new state, because Colorado's doomed right now unless we turn the channel. Look at the next thing he did. I mean, yikes. So intentional. Next screen, please. There's only a couple more. So meanwhile, Colorado Governor Mr. P signed a bill this week making Colorado a gender surgery sanctuary state where minors can come and the state will protect them from their own parents. In other words, Colorado will refuse to return children who travel to that state or are trafficked, and says it will even ignore a court order from the state of origin. Imagine that. Parents and court orders have no power because Mr. P and the queen behind him in the yellow thing decided. So in other words, Governor P is a CT.
Yeah, well, he is, of course, just one of the evildoers here, and of course, the one to put Tina Peters in prison as well for her trying to save the Colorado election steal. But he has recently come out that he is signaling towards amnesty for her, and I really want people to call him directly. And I'm just going to give you his phone number. So Governor Polis, the evil, awful, and massively controlled by Jenna Griswold, of course. He needs your call about freeing Tina Peters, who's been in prison now for about 580 days, and her health isn't well. She's getting attacked constantly, and of course, she's done nothing wrong. So he is on his way towards letting her out, and he needs some nudging. And you can call him about all of these other issues as well. His number is 303-866-2471. That is 303-866-2471. Give him a call. And of course, You want him to hear what you're going to say. So choose your words carefully. Okay, moving along.
Well, 90% or more of the population in Colorado doesn't agree with any of this. But when you've got a millionaire, billionaire thing like that in charge, citizens don't matter. Power does. And he still thinks he's got the power, so none of us matter. And anyway, I need to chill. And the final solution of my presentation is the next and final screen. It should be tested on politicians first. If they survive, the thing is safe. If they don't, then the country is safe. Amen.
That's so good.
Amen.
That's fantastic.
So you can let the
Oh, I love it.
presentation go. Thank you.
Okay, that is wonderful. I just love that. Good one. Good
Well,
good ending. Good finale. That's awesome.
you know, the truth is, I've been through hell with all this, but because I take this every day, my brain is still on top of my head. And because I survived the climate change flu, I was taking a lot of this on a spoon.
So
First
tell
thing
us
in the
what you
morning,
went through. Tell us what you went through, and
oh,
then we're definitely gonna be talking Evo, and I'm gonna be, we'll talk about the products, but which gets into your mitochondria, cleans all this crud out of your cells, and you did that along with a whole host of things that you put together as a protocol for yourself. So what did you do, and what were your symptoms? Maybe your symptoms first, and then what did you do?
well, the first thing that happened was I was sitting out sunning in the morning, which
I'm
I,
gonna put you on full here for a minute, okay? Is that
oh no,
okay?
share with me.
Do you want me to stay with you?
Yeah, because I love seeing your expression.
Okay, I know it can be hard when you're on there solo. You're kind of talking to the wind.
Well,
Go
I'm
ahead.
in my 70s too. I've seen enough of me for a lifetime. So anyway, and you look good. The first thing I noticed was this monster split in my bottom lip. It's actually healed for the last 2 days, but for 3.5 weeks, it wouldn't. I don't ever recall having a split in my lip, and this thing just tore open, and I got a split on my nose. Now, what would cause the sun and those clouds when I thought, don't go outside? But I needed my morning sun, vitamin D. Now I take it out of a bottle when I see those days. But even my nose had a weird skin thing, and I thought, okay, that's not a good sign. And then my lungs just got monstrously bad. And my breathing, just walking to the kitchen, I was winded. And my family started getting worried about me when I was talking to them. And so they could get one of those monitors. So of course I ordered it. And to check your heart rate and your breathing, your oxygen level, and your heart rate. And if it's in the 80s, you need to go to a doctor. And if your heart rate is over 100, you need to go to the hospital. Don't believe in either of those things. And I was in the 80s. Oh God. And I was over 100. Oh God. But I was also dealing with some really bad emotional stuff of people that I used to trust, just showing me that there was no hope for them whatsoever. So I was pushing my heart, like trying to just stay calm. And the Evo really helps. But I was definitely testing both those measurements, and I'd stick my finger in the left finger in the thing repeatedly and just go, oh, shoot. And then I'd go lay down and tap my thymus and breathe through it. And then it would come down, to a decent level. But I was really challenged with lungs, heart, skin, and then it hit my colon. And you'd think I was saving up for a holiday, whatever. And it was like, tea with smooth move and come on, what's going on? So it stopped up all that as well. And then I just kept detoxing with power remedies, a ton of C60 Evo oil, red light therapy. My red light pad was all over my body. And I upgraded to no drugs, of course, from Dark Pharma. I found this lady around the corner that makes fresh flower remedies that are just potent as could be. That's what fixed my lip.
Do you know what flower remedy?
I have so many. Just magnificent. I'd have to go grab the bottles, but one was for immunity, one was for stress, one is for sleep. She makes steams and teas, but find a homeopathy master in your town that does organic fresh flower remedies, because we don't even want to take aspirin anymore. We want to really upgrade everything that we put in our bodies, including C60 Evo, to really bring us to fruition. It extended my patience, but I was determined to get through this. And as soon as I really pushed the detox, and I knew I was sicker than crap with my heart, my lip, and my breathing, I started to have those monster night sweats. And I would wake up in a pool of nightgown sweat, and every night for days in a row. And I went, oh my God, I haven't had this since uranium poisoning in 2019. When I detoxed from that, I would wake up and have to change my nightgown every 2 hours, sweating detox, because my body is so determined to heal. And that I've made it through 3 attempts on my life. I am so proud of my body. And I'm like unfrickin' touchable now because I've been taking Evo for years. And I insist on it every day in my life, except when my heart was like over 100. I had to calm down because it gives you so much energy. And I run my pendulum over everything. I took 1 or 2 days off, but that's it in 6 years. I am loyal to the products we sell, and that's why I joined the lab. And the lab I want to elaborate is the only lab in the world making ESS60, which is pure carbon 60 fullerenes that is safe for people and pets. We are the only lab that was in business other than Russia when the 1996 Nobel Prize was awarded to 3 scientists in Houston for C60, the molecule being a Nobel Prize winning incredible molecule. Our lab had been making it in Houston, Texas for 5 years already. 1991, they opened. 1996 won the Nobel Prize, but we can't take credit. They might have bought it from Russia instead of down the street. Totally possible. And in 2012, they were worried that C60 was dangerous for people and pets. So they tested it for toxicity, and they didn't use China's version or Russia's version. They used ours. This was the exact formula that was tested in 2012 at the Paris Bhakti Study on Toxicity, BAATI. And you might see it called the Prolongation of Life Experiment. It wasn't from any lab other than us. And we proved that the rats that were tested lived 90% longer, and they died without any tumors for the first time in lab rat history that I know of. So phenomenal results. And it came from our lab that makes ESS60. Funny thing is, all the online businesses are bragging their product delivers those results, but they're getting theirs from China. And Wuhan, China is not Houston, Texas. It's a different frequency and quality, shall we say.
Not
Our
to mention a little purity problem. Yeah.
purity. And we also tested 22 online products for concentration levels, and they had 10% to 30% max of what their labels claim because they don't have the gear to test their products. And when I see them say, third party tested, does that mean your niece or your cousin? Is she like older than 12? I mean, it's so ridiculous what I'm looking at in this industry, and everything I say, see like C60 in water. I send it to my partners, and they just laugh because they're like, it doesn't go into water.
Right.
So,
Right.
So anyway, we're doing something exceptional at C60 Evo. You've been on it for years. I've been on it for years. You and I have both been assaulted like crap by those that are unfortunately have been in charge. But I think that we've raised the frequency of everything. And I know my friend frequency has totally changed. I know that my family has really evolved enough to the point where they just picked up and left. So I'm so proud of them. And it was only in the last week, but I look forward to moving to, unless we get those 10 people out of power so that the millions of people living in Colorado don't all have to move. We're at that point right now where they're just dosing everything and there's no backup. Like we're being run by people that want to join the WHO.
Yeah. Well, one of something you just said is so poignant, 10 people destroying the lives of millions. And that is how simple it is, the massive, how social engineering and literal mind control and also pharmakeia, magical occult ism perpetrated against us, and then using technology to enhance and advance that is why people are so controlled and controllable. People would not have put up with this in the past, and yet still have and done. But this whole situation that we were talking about earlier in the video is of that we're in this upgrade motion right now, that God is literally, just basically raising our vibration and frequency, that we are able to wake up, in larger and larger degrees to where we were already woken up from, and basically become capable, available to God, but also capable for what God needs us to do and what we're capable of doing. It's sort of back to original self, original telic center, higher self, whatever you want to call that part of us that is pure consciousness. That is trickling in more and more, and for some people, just coming in like a barnstormer, but what helps is having things to help make that easier, right?
Yes.
And I have no doubt with what I went through recently with my illness was part of this. What's going on now? God does it astrologically. God does it however these things are implanted into our evolution here. That as we're going through all of this, we have to get in, and get the crap out wherever it's nestled and hiding. And so what's wonderful about Evo, and everybody knows I love the capsules, is that it, for this is a cellular upgrade we're going through, and in order for that to happen, your cells need to be healthy. And the number one assault on us is, of course, cellular assault. Whether it is the EMF, whether it is the spray, whether it is the glyphosate, whether it is the medical assaults, all of it, that those are all assaults on your genetic health through your cells, right, and your mitochondria specifically. And so what this product does is it cleans out your mitochondria. It joins up with your master hormones, with your glutathione and your melatonin, and it gets in there to your trillions of cells, saturates, and collects up the garbage to be removed by your hormonal system, your endocrine system. It's amazing. And especially in your neurons and in your brain, all of it's amazing. Depending what is ailing you, it's amazing when it hits that and fixes it. But for me, it's always like brain health, please. And so getting into the brain and helping to clean the gunge out of the brain, I think is huge, because I think our brains are the number one thing besides our cardiovascular systems and our central nervous systems under assault. And so that's why I love this product. And I'll just tell people, for me, I chose to take a break. I take a break once in a while. I take a break with everything because I just believe in
Should.
cycling. I like to cycle. And it's kind of even like how we're seasonal beings. We should eat differently. We should do different things at different times. And so I do cycle and break, but and at this time when I was going through this sort of serotonin syndrome, this situation with my central nervous system last month, I took a break for a while, and then when I came back on, what I generally take is 3 capsules a day. I take 3 capsules. A lot of people love to load up. When I first was taking it for the first 18 months or so, I was like that. I was always the more is better kind of person. It's always so good. But a lot of times it is good, right? But the wonderful thing is that it's a full saturation product. So it goes through your trillions of cells, whether you take 1 capsule or 10, right? But if you're dealing with, a lot of people front load in the beginning. If you're dealing with, a chronic and especially critical illness that is in that critical phase, people are buying it up for helping to treat the big C, even though we can't talk about that, central nervous system disorders, things, many diseases that are in that category of central nervous system. And the list goes on. And then other people just love it for the energy, the focus, the brain energy, the mood elevation. And that's one of the things I think is also wonderful about this product, because a lot of people doing a lot of brain hacking and other kinds of ways of trying to elevate what they're what's going on, or just heal, that doesn't have like this same quality of of an actual sort of elevation of mood. And it's just a natural thing that obviously has to do with healing the brain on some level, right? And this whole situation of serotonin and dopamine and all this, and we can't get into any of the details of that at all. And I really wish they would do some brain studies, and that we had the money to do it. And it's why Maha should be jumping on this so intensely, and this is what our government health agencies should be doing, is the studies on these natural healing products that are incredible and come literally out of nature. And instead, of course, we don't have that, but we don't have to beat that dead horse. So anyway, I just wanted to add that part of it, Patty. And so how long did your climate assault flu last, your climate change flu? And what, what do you feel sort of helped you turn the corner? When did you feel it turning the corner on that?
I'm going to say 3 to 4 weeks, and that's never happened to me, but I wasn't willing to do the generic drugs. What do you call it? The thing.
Antibiotics,
Thank you.
that kind of thing. Yeah,
It's so
sure.
far from my thinking. But I want to, so about 3 to 4 weeks, which is totally unheard of for me. So they really dosed us. The lip thing was like a little too obvious, and I don't know what that was, but I should have ducked. I don't know. Anyway, I want to talk about the mitochondria because I think it's important for your audience that's heard you explain it 100 times. But because I used to do shows with my science partner, I did learn something about why it's helping us be solid in the brain and really well balanced and extremely patient.
Oh,
The
good.
the body is full of mitochondria, like you said, which is the powerhouse of every cell. Now we have 50 to 5,000 mitochondria in all elements of our body, except blood has 0 mitochondria, but the brain has 2 million mitochondria per cell. So when you put this into your body and you are blasting out the toxins in your mitochondria and removing them out when you go to the bathroom, you're going to really see a difference in your thinking first, in your lessening of brain fog, because 2 million mitochondria per cell being cleaned and detoxed. You're going to say, oh my God, my memory is back. I feel so. So people are like elated with their brains coming home when they take this product. The capsules we recommend, because it's only a teaspoon, to take 6 a day. But a teaspoon is a lot less than I take of the oil. Now, the great thing about capsules is that you can travel on a plane with as many as you want, and they won't take them out of your suitcase. This 4-ounce bottle, they will take out of your carry-on, but the capsule's not. So I'd say stock up with both so that you've got your home version and your travel version, or you always have them in your briefcase or your purse or your glove box, but keep them out of direct sunlight, away from direct heat, and it'll last typically 3 years from the day you open your bottle. On the bottom, you'll find an expiration date. And, we've got really conscientious, off the shelf. So we don't tell the full story, which is good for another 18 months after the expiration. But we want people to have the freshest, cleanest product available. And I do want to mention that some people that immediately go, oh, that's so expensive. What's your health worth? And we have amazing discounts, especially on your page that's in the link below. Our name, your name, c60evo.com/YAFTV. You're going to get a discount code that you can use at checkout, along with a beautiful landing page that shows you our top selling products. And when people start, they're like, well, what do you recommend I start with? Because I want to, check it out slowly. So, of course, number 1 is the olive oil, which is either capsules or oil, depending on your priorities. I recommend you get both. But the other top seller, which we call it the starter set for people that just want to try something new, is our facial serum and the olive oil. And it is absolutely divine. It smells like rosemary. It's got a base of chia seed oil, and it comes in this beautiful gift box. Timber, get up straight, baby. Revive, replenish, rejuvenate. I've been playing with this one, but it's a really beautiful presentation. And then when you take your bottle out, there's a lotus behind it. We just don't stop with staying sacred at C60 Evo because we are body, mind, spirit healing right now. And when you are clearing your brain's mitochondria, you're also going to find the decalcification of your pineal gland is starting to happen where you're like, ah, I feel God again. I feel myself coming home. It is the most delicious thing, the evolution, and that's why we're called C60 Evo. We are representing the evolution of the entire C60 industry from Chinese industrial grade C60. We've been in business longer than any of them in Houston, Texas, but to the ESS60 for people and pets. Totally marvelous, totally cleaner. And I did inherit my kid's 18-year-old cat. The 22-year-old cat just passed away. Why? Because they've been giving it C60 Evo for cats. Hello, longer life. So now I've got the arthritic cat, but she's starting to cruise around the house like, wow, grandma, this place is good. And she's like stretching her wings for the first time. We have influencers whose dogs were going to need to be put down. I said, wait. Sent him a bottle of C60 Evo for dogs. Tastes like bacon. Ah, men go, well, wait a minute. I want the bacon flavor. Well, you may as well share it with your dog because it's just this plus natural bacon essence. The cat formula is just this, our top selling oil with a little bit of salmon essence. So your cat goes, dang, I love this stuff. And then all of a sudden, the arthritis, not allowed to say it, your cat moves better and feels better. The fur is more glossy. I mean, it's happening to us. Head, hoof, line, and stinker. Hook, line, and sinker. We're just getting the stink out of all of us. And it's so simple for me. I pour this in my coffee every morning. I love the MCT coconut oil. And the truth is, it is half as strong as the olive oil because of the concentration levels that the products will hold. It'll just fall to the bottom in the coconut oil when it goes past 0.35 milligrams per milliliters, where the olive oil strong holds 0.86. Now, the avocado oil, right in the middle, but higher end, holds 0.65 milligrams per milliliters. Absolutely delicious on avocado toast. I prefer everything on a spoon in my mouth so I don't have to lick the plate after I put it on my salad. That's where I'm at. I love it all, or we wouldn't be selling it. And yeah, I just feel like my life has been blessed by C60 Evo. And we are the only lab making the good stuff, ESS60. After 34 years of my partners understanding the science, we don't play games. We don't need to. And we're not selling industrial grade from China. And we're not pretending to be the lab that delivered the real product that's received all these rave reviews with our formula. So I'm proud of what we're doing. I love it that you're working together with Evo, and your audience is going to totally benefit because they trust you. They've seen you staying strong through all of this malarkey, and that I'm still here. I knock on wood every day. I wake up and say, thank you, God, I get another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. Great rundown there. It's so many of my viewers already, are customers, and I'm so grateful because it supports the channel and it supports you, and 660 Evo supports You Are Free TV, and it's just such a blessing to have a sponsor that does products that I truly believe in and think are just really just paradigm shifting when it comes to Maha, it comes to healing. To go next level, that it's so important that we adjust to really claiming that that we're taking care of our health, right? And that we are turning our backs on the outdated, outmoded, necrophilic medical industry. And this is a high energy, high frequency product. It just is an elevating product on all levels. And so many of my viewers already do purchase the products and always are raving and so excited. And the giveaway that we do every month, that we're able to do a video here with the sponsor. They allow me to give away 2 bottles of this to randomly selected supporters of You Are Free TV. So anybody who's ever donated is on that list, and it's just a random selection. And people are always so excited when they're the winners. And I love being able to do that. It's just such a fun thing. And also let people know that if you do support You Are Free TV, you also get 15% off of the products with a different code and a different link sent to you. And as you can see in the ticker below, and if you go into the description below, you'll get all the links and everything you need. So go down to the description and check that out. And because you definitely want to be going to c60evo.com/YAFTV to be able to use the codes and also benefit and support the channel. And the codes, 10% off code is YAFTV. So pretty straightforward. That's for everybody. So
I want to mention one more thing, which is if you want to really save money, you can buy a case and get 25% off. Then use Freeze code and get another 10% off. I'm all about you guys saving money. So you get a case for 25% off any product. You got to get 12 of the same, but you know, you got them, you got yourself stocked up, you got enough to share with your family and close friends. You're going to really do well with this product, and everybody's going to love you more because you're helping them too. So use all the discounts with free on her landing page. When you pull it up, you'll see our store and the discounts that are available today.
awesome. Well, thanks so much, Patty. That's great. It's really intense to hear your story and for you to share that with us of what you've been through in this last month. And there's so many people going through, which typically we'd be calling healing crises that are actually healing breakthroughs, right? Where we're breaking through into this new kind of level of living, and it's just as getting rid of the old crud, right? As we're fighting the massive assault. And God is funny that way. It's like, okay, we're dealing with this, so are we going to be able to survive it? How do we do it? And a lot of time God puts his warriors in there to be the ones to test that out and get through it and share the news. So I so thank you for sharing today your
Thank you.
story. And I'm really looking forward to our next video, and just want to urge everybody, when you do go down below to the description and get on to c60evo.com/YAFTV, go to the testimonials, go and read what people experience with this product, and it will really help you decide what's good for you. A lot of people who are in it for the workouts, that they're training or they're just big into fitness, go with the MCT oil, because there's a lot of reports that Chris will often talk about with his friends who are into that kind of lifestyle, talk about that it actually, they believe it prevents, and again, I'm just saying this, no, I can say it, Patty can't, prevents the damage, the oxidative damage and stress of the workouts or the marathons or the whatevers, that it prevents the pain, rather than it adds better recovery. But the effect is the recovery is way faster with the MCT, because of people use that, of course, for the keto diet lifestyle and all this kind of energy hacking when it comes to working out. So just mentioning that as well. So all right, Patty, it's so good to be with you again, and look forward to upcoming videos. I'm so glad we get to be back in this shared space. And just, you look fabulous. I'm so glad you're feeling well again. Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing your story.
We are back
We
and we
are
are
back.
moving forward. So
Yes. And you know what else we are? We are free.
we
We'll
are.
see you next time, everyone. Be well.